there's anything else that you guys saw this week that stands out to you. So, Kevin, we'll start with you in regards to what you think is significant going on in camp right now.
Well, the term "saw" is subjective because we saw what we were going to see the first three practices of fall camp. So it was more of hearing, and I mean, I think that linebacker is a room that we're going to be talking about a lot more as the season goes on. I think that I think that we obviously know what Sonny Styles is, and I think that people are waking up to what Arvell Reese is, but I think people need to wake up to Peyton Pierce being a major contributor here this year, and that Laurinaitis feels that all three of them are starters. Granted, they run a 4-2-5, and that two is linebacker, so they're not really running three out there in traditional, Will, Mike, and Sam discussion points. But I think that it's still, I think linebacker is something that people need to focus on because it's very easy to focus on maybe where the deficiencies are. Is offensive line going to, are they going to shake out who is the left tackle, who is the right tackle? Defensive line, with the depth. I mean, the concerns of, Edric Houston being slowed a little bit, but I think a position that we'll be talking about more will be linebacker.
Steve, anything you're focusing on as we make our way through August?
Yeah, as Kevin noted, we linebackers were a group that we got to talk to on Wednesday. Very impressed with them. We got the running backs today, the quarterbacks back on Tuesday, maybe, I think. So 3 position groups this week. We had the wide receivers last week, at the end of last week. So we've talked to 4 of the position groups so far. I think we'll get into the linemen next week, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, and Coach Day each have a day next week. So I would agree with him. Peyton Pierce is a guy that when you listen to James Laurinaitis, that he considers him essentially a starter along with Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, even if they're in a 4-2-5 alignment and Pearson isn't on the field for the first play. When he puts him in the game, he expects no drop-off in production from Peyton Pierce, the youngster. I believe he came in from Texas. Isn't that right, fellas? Yes. So he's in his second year in the program, and he is really starting to impress people. When we were at practice, we got to watch the first 3 days. And as we mentioned, got to see a good bit of this 11-on-11 work last Saturday. The one thing that hasn't changed is Jeremiah Smith. He made a catch that I think that their social media people put up on the Ohio State football Twitter account, where he had to make an adjustment in the air to a pass from Julian Sayin and come back to the ball and fight off Bryce West, the DB, and made this amazing one-handed catch falling down. As I was watching it live, I didn't realize it was a one-handed catch until I saw the replay. And, Smith got up from the play and was kind of exasperated, one, by how he had to exert to make that catch, but maybe just how difficult it's been on the offense going against this defense to make good plays. He got up and threw the ball toward the goalpost down at the end of the field. That's how he's probably the only guy on the team that can get away with that. But it was kind of like a moment of relief for him that he stood up. I don't know if they included that part on the social media clip or not, but that was kind of a funny moment. It got everybody laughing, for him to stand up and almost out of exasperation, we made a play, But there have been more plays like that made. Brandon Ennis, to me, one of the 2 days, he was just on fire. Carnell Tate is still Carnell Tate. And Max Clare and Jelani Thurman has really stepped up as well. So, yeah, they've got people they could put the ball in their hands, throwing the football, and they're going to make plays. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, Smith, not a flash in the pan. Noted.
No. Doesn't appear like there's going to be a sophomore jinx on
not a fluke.
This cat.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, sophomore slump for Jeremiah would be 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, 13 touchdowns. Yeah, to not exceed his numbers from last year would be a slump.
Well, and the thing is, there's going to be so much more attention on him that he may not and still be just as effective, not unlike Marvin Harrison as a junior. I would say I would agree with Steve about Brandon Innes. He's been very, very good in camp. Ryan Day talking about Austin Searveld being at left tackle right now. He was still there yesterday as well. So I think that's definitely new. He played there some in camp last year, but he played everywhere. So him at left tackle and Ethan Aniano at right tackle. We'll see if that's something that sticks. Today talking with James Peoples, he mentioned Caden McDonald at nose tackle as somebody that just continues to show up when he's trying to run the ball. So I think that those are all good signs. And just the way everybody talks about Peyton Pierce and the linebackers as a whole, I think that's very positive. Getting to see Jeremiah Smith do what Jeremiah Smith does. We didn't really get to see any of that in the spring. Like there are no big plays from him necessarily in the spring. So getting to see the falling left-handed catch, and then there's another one. He went right by Devin Sanchez on a deep route. So yeah, he seems to be back. But overall, like it's not maybe not a more ideal situation for a new quarterback to come into than a veteran offensive line. They're still working out who's going to be where. Talented running backs, obviously talented receivers, the best tight end room in the nation. Like whoever is the quarterback, they've got everything they need to succeed. And Ryan Day as well, they're alongside him to make that happen. But yeah, certainly a lot of depth. And I just posted this on our message board as well. I think on the offensive line, they now have the smallest number of guys who are never going to play than I've ever seen on the Ohio State offensive line. Like there's nobody on this offensive line that I would say there's no chance that they're going to play. Whereas in the past, you could be like, that guy's never going to play, and the guy standing next to him is never going to play, and the guy behind him is never going to play.
Yeah, 3 or 4 guys.
That's new to me.
I agree, and we don't want to embarrass anybody by listing the names, but they took some real stiffs on the offensive line. There's no question about it, and none of them are there anymore, and none of them made it to 4 years in the program either. They had to get out. So, yeah, I think that's a really good sign.
Before we get to the rest of the show here, we obviously want to remind everyone we're here at the Voice of College Football, typically Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, but hit the bell for the notifications to know when we go live. We want to make sure that you can catch up with these three throughout the week as well.